Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and today I actually would like to go over my top picks. Just off the top, it's not like the format's been really tested, there's been some mild testing, and you know, behind the scenes, if you want to be competitive, you have to test from the drop, you know, like before the cards are even released. But these are just some of my favorite picks personally, before heavy testing actually gets involved. So right before we get into that, just a couple quick things. I am currently making a second channel because I want this channel to stay card games, but there's just so many things about Dragon Ball that I do like talking about, and so I'm setting up the channel. And if I do any future Dokkan videos, Legends videos, figure reviews, if I start talking about the manga, you know, when the anime starts back up, start talking about that, it's all going to be on UniXDB, like just UniX Dragon Ball instead of UniX Dragon Ball Super. I'll put a link to it down here in the description, and then also on my page, it's my only other associated channel. So if you feel like subscribing to that, there will be content on there soon. I just gotta finish a couple things, and yeah. So as always, if you have not subscribed yet and you're thinking about it, I mean, content is flowing and I'm putting out more and more, so I would say just do it, but of course, choice is always yours. I'm just trying to grow this channel and have fun and eventually have my hobby fuel my hobby, you know? So without further ado, let's get into the first card on my list. I got 12 cards and then an honorable mention. And yeah, so we'll just go right into it. First card, Gotenks, Return of the Reaper of Justice. So unique. Activate battle if your leader card is a mono blue sand card and you have a blue unison card in play. Play this card from your hand in rest mode. Okay, very simple effect, but it kind of really reminds me of just like the spiritual predecessor of the cards that you would tap 1/4 to combo with, put them into play, and then just have them there. Much like, you know, the blue future Son Gohan. I like this because when it comes to blue control, you want to be able to, well, control decks, you want to have so much of your frame being your helmet, your control, but you also need some killers, and you might actually need some people to apply a little bit of pressure, you know, to get your opponent within kill range for your big bomb. And I feel like this is just one of those cards that does it. It's a card that feels like it slots really well into control decks, and Unique kind of holds it back a little bit, but I just like its design. I'm not saying this is broken, I just like the design from a control standpoint. The next card, Baby Diabolic Parasite. Counterplay, play this card, choose up to one of your mono blue energy with an to active mode, and at the if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 4 or less, it's placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played, and it's Overlord. Okay, so there's a lot to go off here. One, this guy is 3 with only 2 specified, meaning Planet Tuffle is going to take him down to a 2 cost. So for 2 energy, you will be able to counter your opponent's 4 or less battle card, okay? Put it at the bottom of the deck, and then untap one of your energy. So you have to have 2 energy up, but it's effectively a 1 cost counter for a battle card. And it enables Overlord, which is crazy because this deck has a lot of serpents. So real talk, that it's just that there's too much value on this card for it not to be good. It's actually just really tasty. The next card, Baby Golden Avenger. I said everything I need to say about this when Amani and I were doing the blue breakdown, and if you haven't seen that, I can put that in the description too. But whew, I mean, triple strike. It's a counter play that targets like 7 cost or less. That's a lot of the game, and it's returned to the owner's hand. Or it's a counter, and you still play this card either way. And then when it's played, you draw a card, and then remove 1 battle card from the field regardless of barrier. You just place on the bottom of your opponent's deck. There is far too much. This guy can stop a negate what your opponent thought he or she was going to mitigate the damage, and then all of a sudden, bam, you've added potential 3 more damage to it. And your first damage you now have to combo through because you stopped the negate. I mean, or you can counter play. I mean, your opponent's trying to play a bomb and you just yeet, or your opponent's trying to play a just your opponent trying to play a counter, like, you know, that comes into play, and you're just like, no. I mean, this guy can even hit himself. It's just wild. This card is absolutely wild. It's a lot of power just on a card. Next one, Haruharu Shunshun's sister. The name is stupid, the effect is not. Permanent, during your turn, if you have a black unison card in play, this card gains plus 10,000 power and double strike. So this doesn't have to take a life. You just have to have a black unison in play, and this thing is a 1-drop 15k double strike. That is unison pressure, that is pressure to your life. I mean, other decks might have to wait a little bit to get this out, you know, like turn 2. However, freaking Veginx can put this threat on the board turn 1 just with a good mill, catching the friendship unison. The unison friendship, it's just, this card is an absurd amount of power on a 1-drop, and it's a strong. And let's not also forget about the fact that you can draw in pinch situations mid to late game and not have to worry about your life total. He's just like, or she is just there. It's stupid. Now this is the honorable mention. We got Krillin Moments for comeback. There's nothing really special about this card. It's the generic super combo that's going around this set where you tuck 1, draw 2. However, why is Krillin being held this way? Where is the comeback that's about to happen? Like, I mean, I know the movie, but like, this is the honorable mention. Best super combo art in the game. Now next, Prince of Destruction Vegeta, Life and Death. Double strike, servant, so he's gonna get plus 10k. Auto once per turn when your opponent activates a counter skill, switch this card to active mode, 20,000 power. So yeah, this is a 3-drop, 30,000 double strike, and if your opponent puts a counter out, it opens itself back up again. I mean, you could swing, give your opponent 2 life, they get a counter, and somewhere down the turn, they have to be like, fuck, I counter, and this guy's gonna get back up. Not to mention the fact that since he is a servant, he will be put to the bottom of your deck with the Overlord skill if you're using Vegeta and Babidi, and he will be put right back to the field by paying 1 green. It's solid card value. It's a massive push in the deck. It is a wonderful card, hands down. Next card that I like, Piccolo Demonic Transformation. Counterplay. If your leader card is mono yellow, play this card. Then if the card being played has an energy cost of 4 or less, it is played with its skills negated for the turn. Permanent, during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. Okay, so during your opponent's turn, this is a 2 yellow counter. Now, yes, 4 can be a little low, and yes, it doesn't necessarily stop the card from being there, it just stops it from getting its come into play effect or having any effects for the turn. However, note that in the wording, it says the card being played, meaning that this is a 2 energy Cold Bloodlust for both battle cards and unisons. And I mean, heck, field cards. Yeah, I mean, it's just, well, I guess that's still an extra card, but yeah. So this is really, really good. Like, just very, very good. Extra cards, unison cards, battle cards. This is a catch-all as long as it's 4 cost or less, and that's a lot of the game right now. So I definitely feel like this card is just a very nice card for control yellow, and I think it's just gonna be a card where you can see it come up a couple sets later, just if the format gets slow enough to permit it. Very next card, Rebellion Hammer. Counterplay. If your leader card is black and you send 3 black cards from your drop area to your warp, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 4 or less, it is placed in the owner's drop area instead of being played. Permanent, if you have 12 or more black cards in your warp, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So 12 cards in the warp, and this is a 1 energy counterplay that'll just drop area your opponent's thing of 4 or less. Yeah, I think it's very, very neat. I think it's very, very cool that in some decks this only takes 2 cards going off. Like in a Broly deck, Dark Broly, you can remove 2 cards, and then this is live. Well, remove 2 Dark Brolys. I do think that in the past, black has been very, very control, and we've had, or very, very aggro, and we've had some controls, like we've had some interesting decks with like Toa, but I feel like this card is one of the more control, very like oriented black cards, and we don't get a lot of those. So I really, really, really do like this, and I like the fact that early game it's a 2-drop, but late game it's likely going to be a 1-drop. It gets better as the game goes on, and that's a good control card. So I'm very, very, very happy with Rebellion Hammer. Next card, SS Bardock the Tenacious. Overwhelm 6, 1 black. Takes specify black energy. Auto, when this card is played by using Overwhelm, your opponent can only attack with battle cards once during their next turn. When this card is played, you can't play copies of this card during your next turn. Okay, so this is also another interesting card for me because it is a black control card. This is essentially a Nimbus, you know? You play this card with Overwhelm, you have a 25k attack that you can do whatever you want with, but at the end of the day, your opponent can get 1 battle card swing. And now, of course, this still leaves their leader in unisons, but this is huge for black. Black doesn't really have that many good defensive cards to do stuff like this with. And so I think that's hot. Bandai decided to go a brainstem and make it not loopable. You can't just do it multiple turns in a row. So, I mean, that's kind of sucks because you can Nimbus multiple turns in a row, but it is what it is. Next card, SS4 Vegeta Rise of the Super Warrior. There's not much to explain about this card. This is a 30k blocker. This thing can come out as early as like turn 3. If your opponent's leader card is mono blue, when this card is played, look at the top 4 cards of your deck up to, and add up to 4 mono blue cards amongst them to your hand. Place any number of the remaining mono blue cards in your energy, and place the other remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And at the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode because it's not enough that this guy's a 30k blocker. He needs to be able to swing and then block for you as well. This guy can plus 4 to your energy. This guy can plus 2 to your energy, take 2 to your hand. This guy can plus 1 to your energy, take 3 cards to your hand. You just draw 4. This dude is amazing. Like, if he had deflect, he'd be absolutely broken, but this card is amazing, and it's wild. Absolutely freaking wild. Next card, Baby, Artificial Life Form. Counter. If your leader card is mono blue, switch it to 1 of your mono blue energy to active mode, play this card. And yeah, if your leader card is a blue baby card, when this card is played, choose it to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of their owner's deck. It's just like the first one, the Diabolic one. It's a counter, so I mean, you can stop your opponent's counter play, you can stop your opponent's counter attack, and he's only going to cost 3 with Planet Tuffle on board, but oh wait, he's going to untap something, so you have to have 3 effective energy, but I mean, you have to have 3 energy total, but he's effectively only 2 energy, because reasons, and yeah, you're just going to also affect the board. He does entirely too much. There's just nothing to say about that. Like, he's even got like Tuffle pasties over where his nipple should be. Next card on this list, Violent Rays. Counterattack, if your leader card is red, negate the attack, and then you can choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do choose one, your opponent either can't attack with battle cards with 20,000 power or more for the turn, or they can attack with unison cards with 20,000 power or more for the turn. This is very, very huge because there are certain decks that this will absolutely just shut down. Like, you resolve Violent Rays against a Broly deck, the red Broly deck, and ouch, heck, you resolve it against the green Broly deck, and ouch. There's a lot of things that you can play this against that just completely shut down turns, and it's a very, very valuable defensive red card, because red cards, you already know how red cards be doing. Like, they get shafted through card effect very often in design, and this is a very, very, very powerful just card. And the fact that it is red, I mean, this could go in Invoker if you wanted to. This could go in so many things. It's a very powerful card, and I do think that I'm just going to pick up my playset and never go any 4 because of the game. Now, we're at the last of my favorite cards. We got Majin Buu Royal Absorption. Double Strike, Dual Attack. That's 4 damage if it goes through uncontested. EX Evolve for just 1 green. And when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, play up to 1 green Majin Buu with an energy cost of 3 from your drop area, then add up to 1 Dark Dragon Ball card from your drop area to your hand. So, without going terribly too far into the archetype, this guy is very easy to do. You can bring him out on turn 4 because the Majin Vegeta deck, you run so many 1-drops to take life. You're going to get, if you see Ball or Bibbidi in the first turn, you will fill him up through the leader skill and the 1-drops by your second turn. Then you will awaken and open up 2 energy. You will get this guy out no matter what. And when you do put this dude out, he is swinging twice with Double Strike 25k on turn 2. Past that, if he somehow got smoked off the board, if the game went longer than it's supposed to, you will be able to bring back the 3-drop and bring back the Dragon Ball, only requiring you to have access to the 5-drop. What are you gonna do? You just need another one of these, and you can do it again. It's a massive amount of sustain, and it's very nice. Plus, with a 7 cost that you can EX evolve into with 1 energy, he's just begging you to help ramp up to Xenocell. So yeah, those are my favorite 12 cards and honorable mention in the Krillin Super Combo. I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any other cards that you personally feel should be on your favorites list, like that you think are, you know, worth the mention, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to see it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.